Hey y'all, Cosmic Sunday here with the first ever episode of Intergalactic Spotlight, a show where we're gonna be giving spotlights to creators, artists, musicians, anything, right? With us, we have our friend, co-host Charon.
Hello, everyone.
So you've seen our sketches before where we usually act silly and whatnot, but we wanted to make sure that we also show who we are as artists to people also, and also introduce you to artists that might be new to us as well, but deserve that spotlight. And so that's why we're here, and I'm super excited to host the first person. Are you too?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, why don't we just bring them out now?
Guest, are you there? Are you there, guest? Sticky is the guest. Sticky, come on down over here.
Howdy.
How you been, dude? Did you get all right here? No vehicles got in the way?
No. Very funny. Very funny. That's
Yeah,
that.
little deer
That's
comedy
the
over
kind
here.
of. Yeah.
So
Look at the funny animal with the antlers.
they get run over by vehicles. Anyways, was that too dark?
No, that was just more annoying. If I'm being honest.
You could have went with the Frogger route.
Oh my. Then if we ever see a frog avatar, I'm gonna keep you away.
Please, thank you.
Because those kinds of jokes are gonna make somebody with a frog avatar want to jump into an oncoming vehicle.
Musical break.
Hey y'all, welcome back. That was a little taste of Sticky's music. What song was that? Sticky, what's the name of that song?
Little bunny.
Little Bunny. Is my favorite song in the album. And the album recently came out and we freaking loved it. We went to the opening. Do we have some footage of that? Yep, that's it.
Yeah, I was about to say the only footage I've seen of it was the footage you had of me when we were on the stage and you were given that little prep talk, that prep interview for like the real interview right here, right?
It was just practice, I guess, but there's favoritism here in ILS.
Clearly. Good song.
What? We don't participate in that. How many sketches have we been together? 5?
All of them.
All of them.
Okay, well, Charon wasn't in the first one.
He was
But
in
Charon
spirit.
was
No, but I've basically been in everyone since after that.
right.
And
You're
Karen
like the character that like shows up and you'd think like, oh, this is just a one-off, but no, they keep consistently seeing him.
like, oh shit! It's like the ratings in the show were so low that they needed to bring like an A celebrity.
And then he's calling you a bad actor.
All right, so we're already getting off
We're getting
the rails.
winded.
So, can you tell us a little bit like about your music? Where did you how long have you been playing it? Like where did you get like this love for music and gradings?
Well, that's funny because I distinctly recall vividly in, I believe it was middle school, where there was a period where I was in a music class, right? And I don't know if it was more a symptom of just not wanting to like do schoolwork, like as if that tacked on, but I just didn't get it. I didn't understand. I thought, what's the point of all this? Like within like the music class, there's a funny thing. My teacher from that music class had this. Have you heard that one song, we will never ever ever get back together? She
Oh,
took that
dear
and turned it
Lord.
into like a rule where it's like, we will never ever ever step over the instruments, and it just didn't flow at all.
That was the music teacher.
Yeah, that was my music teacher. So
Jesus.
but no, I think what really ushered in my love of music was introducing myself to the music of the band Ween.
Ween.
Ween-
You have
Ween
mentioned that a
is
lot.
I have, yeah. They're a band from New Hope, Pennsylvania, and they're notable for releasing a crap ton of music ranging a variety of genres, usually revolving around alternative rock. But the thing is that for some of their earliest work, they recorded all their stuff on 4-track cassette tapes. That's only 4 tracks you have to work with. So when asked about that, Dean Ween, one of the members, said, when you only have 4 tracks to work with, you gotta write better songs. And when you listen to their work from that 4-track tape era before they would, get a band to play live like a traditional band does, if you listen to their 4-track work, it's really good, because Ween is kind of like a joke band, some would say, but they've got chops. They can play their asses off when they need to. So, if you were to hear a modern like 4-track song, if you were to hear, say, something along the likes of just any 4-track song they did, and then hear it live, and then listen back to the 4-track variant, you can like clearly see like these guys can play. Like and it's not like as a joke per se. They're not doing it out of what's the word?
Like fun.
Like they're not making fun of any of it. It's very much an embracement as much as adding, their own bit to the
Right.
punch bowl. So listening to Ween was basically the catalyst for me pursuing a hobby in music, very much so. So Ween for me is like the cornerstone that everything revolves around. So that's where I would say it starts.
I know, like you talked a lot about Ween. I haven't listened to them yet, but I will after the way that you spoke about it. So like, are you like the only person in your family like that plays music, or is it run in your family?
It doesn't run in the family, but my family has dabbled in music per se. I don't want to dive too deep into specifics because it's my family, right? But one member of my family, his name is Jeffrey Hicks, and I could say that out loud because he's put his stuff out there. He came to me one day and he said, "Hey, would you like to do a record?" I said, "Sure." And we did a record. It's called Forbidden Love. And Jeffrey wanted country-esque music. He wanted music that sounded like country, but not like trucker banjo country or like modern day whiskey slugging country. More like sort of like atmospheric and like country that makes you think. If that's a great way to put it, probably not, but we ended up doing that song. I did all the instrumentation, and he wrote the words and the general structure of how he wanted it to sound. And that song was pretty popular with my family. And so we did more. I did more songs with him. And from what he was telling me, he wants to release an EP of songs. He bought a guitar and he's learning guitar, and it's been very great to see him evolve. And
At the same time as you're evolving, right?
Right, yeah. He's taken a lot of cues from me, so. But
Dude, that is awesome. And like going off of that, like how like he wrote everything, because you're also like your own writer. You play all the instruments in your album, right?
yeah, his songs are his songs. My songs are my own
Do y'all have like similar like writing methodologies? Like how do you create a
No,
song from scratch?
absolutely not. No. He writes stuff about like his girlfriends and like his experiences doing whatever. My songs. See, when I do write a song, like the general premise of what I want, it could be anything, but I keep it, I guess, intimate and very, because I don't want to write a song about like current topics or something that'll date it, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the song "Little Bunny," you mentioned it earlier, was like one of those nothing burger songs, whereas like it basically was about nothing. I just had the melody for it, and I just knew like the vocals were gonna be "Little Bunny wasn't funny, but he needed the funds. Little Bunny took the money and away he run." That was just nothing. That just it's just all it was it just sounded good in my head, and that was it. Like Little Bunny is like a nothing burger of a song, but within nothing burgers, there's actual like stories I'm trying to convey and like moods and like
Right.
if you can name another song from the record, and I can like tell you what I was going through when trying to write it.
I'm really bad at names, but the second song that comes out in the album on Nuge is what's the name of the second song?
Tevrapred.
Yes. Is it the second one? Yeah. I really like that one. Like it was like more serious. Like that's the one that you're just like this like the
Screaming
That's the
sound,
screamer
right?
song. That's the screamer song.
that one is fun. Like I was
recorded.
I was literally like playing it in one of like in my world, and I kid you not, like some people like came in, and actually Choco was one of them, and they were like, "Oh, this fucking slaps!" Like it's a really fun song. How did that
It
come
is.
about?
Well, I'll tell you now. I recorded the vocals at 10:30 in the morning. I had some free time and I ran some errands, and when I was done, I went back home and I just screamed it in my like leaning over, like screaming. It was all one take, and
All one take.
I had just finished the last bit of the lyrics, but I didn't have it crystallized in my head, so I kind of flubbed it, but I just went with it because. So Tevrapred it's a fast song, and it was deliberately a fast song because I thought as I was making the record I had too many slow songs, and I needed to do some fast ones, and I wanted to do one that was on the same level as like Territorial Pissings or Tourette's by Nirvana, because I've listened to a lot of Nirvana because Nirvana is fucking great. I love that band. Even though they're like mainstream, like there's certainly like Ween is not as mainstream as Nirvana, but Nirvana rocks because it's sure they call it grunge, but it's like with a side of punk, and punk is very aggressive, very, very loose, but also very simple. One guitar, one bass, drums. That's kind of what I wanted for Tevrapred. I wanted just a really fast, and it also because I think. Even now, I think I try too hard on songs to try and make them sound very complex. There's if you take a song like Crop Dust off that record, my favorite song off that record, there's a lot of bits. There's like this, like 3 bits in the intro, and then bits in the middle, and then all these bits at the end. Teverpred is just like 3 bits, right? And that's what I wanted to. I just wanted a simple song to have a simple song because I thought I had too many complex songs. No, I was not. We were talking about lyrics, right? I haven't brought up the lyrics of Teverpred. Let me see if I remember off. My mother, why bother? I fear no immortal. Salacious dishonor, invalidated soul. I hate you, forsake you, devil. It's basically like a commentary of like the first bit, that first bit in the verse is like me talking about how I think religion is kind of, I wouldn't say useless, because people will think that's me telling them like your religion is useless, don't do it. But no, because I write songs for me first, right? If
Yeah,
I don't like it, I'm not gonna put that out there. And if other people happen to like it, that's cool. But I was writing for me, and I grew up in a very religious family, so that was pushed onto me. But over the years, I've figured I just didn't need it. It wasn't so much the question of do I believe in the existence of a supreme being. It was more of do I agree with their terms and conditions, which is to say I don't.
You're not about the terms of service that they're pushing.
Right. And then there's a bit in the middle, the lyrics where I'm pampered, I'm spoiled, I'm paranoid and scared. DNA uncoiled, jello beneath my hair. That one. Let it out.
I was just thinking, like, with what you were saying about making music for yourself before, I feel like a lot of creators, not just in music, but like in other forms, they worry more about what other people are gonna like before they worry about like what they want to like
Right.
do in their own. So like the way that you worded it, dude, was like really well, and I feel like it should be like a message for like other creators as well. It's like do it for yourself first, get better at doing what you love, and then you can like once you get bigger, you can sell out and write a pop album.
Okay. Anyway, there's a bit at the end of Teverpred, the last few lyrics. Cum bucket, I'll fuck it, immersion urine stream. Basically, so, and this also plays into the title Teverpred, which is actually like a letter swap of the word perverted. Because I fear that they say fame and fortune will bring out the true version of you, and I guess I'm just scared that this greedy, gluttonous, perverted pig is my true self, so that's kind of me attacking that. Like, but I think it's not so much like attacking it as in like, no, that's not me, that'll never be me. I think it's like doubling down on it. Like, yeah, what if it's me? How would I don't know. But
I mean, as of right now, you're like one of the most down to earth people I've ever met in my life. Just like how easy you're to get along. So I'm not worried that you're gonna be that piece of shit pig that you were talking about. Like, so like and like going into the future, like what where do you see yourself like in a couple like do you have anything planned ahead? Like I know like your album just came out and whatnot, but do you have anything like what are your like if you have what are your personal dreams for the future?
I don't know. I really don't. I've been asked ever since I was, it's the age old question. What do you want to be when you grow up? And I just didn't know. I figured I'd rather leave my options open because for the longest time I didn't know that like being a musician was what I was gonna find enjoyment in. So
No
and
one ever expects what they're gonna be in the future. It's
Mm-mm.
always a mystery.
I'm still a 33-year-old baby, and I don't know what I want to do.
People
yeah,
is
so
dope.
I really I mean I imagine I'll probably release more music and now that it looks like I have an audience to give it out to that'll definitely fuel what little sparks I've created, but in the grand scheme of things I don't know because I can't really say.
Yeah, it was actually this song that I wanted to talk like ask you more about station identification because this one's personally my favorite.
Oh, okay. Well, what would you like to know about that one?
Well, what gave you the inspiration to actually like write it and stuff? What was going on in that little brain of yours? You made that song.
Well, the intro bass line, I really enjoyed the bass on that song and like throughout the album, because I wanted there to be the more prominent and focused thing on the bass. I wanted the bass to be more active within the album because I've grown to like really enjoy playing bass guitar. But that melody had been kicking in my head for the longest time. Like since those days of like being in that middle school music class. So I had that bit and then I had another bit that I was originally wanting to have my brother Jeffrey, sing on, but then I realized, oh wait, that bit works with this bit, and so I put those two together. And then I had that solo bit where I was just playing up on the neck of the guitar, and I realized, oh, these notes, because they're three notes, I could bar that and play that as a chord. That's great. So it was really just very lucky breaks in the music writing bit. Lyrically, it was, I guess my songs can get a little raunchy at times, but not until now have I made it overt, like in your face, because that's just like I don't want to like sit down and write a raunchy song to write a raunchy song.
Right.
But I figured with station identification, it was playing back to Teverpred, and even another song on the album called Seams. That song's been pretty popular with my family, from what I hear. So to sidetrack a bit, Seams is about like a one night stand gone wrong, whereas like all parties involved are just like groaned out and like disappointed, like regretful.
Right.
Because Nude is a very unoptimistic record. It's like a reflection of like what I've been seeing and just how my life is going. And there's a quote I want to bring up from the drummer of Ween, Claude Coleman. In 2002, he got involved in a vehicular accident that nearly took his life, along with his ability to drum. And he has a side project. And while working on that side project, he was telling an interviewer how he didn't want to make an album that was just very angry, very painful, because even though that's what he was feeling at the time, he, didn't want to go into a record listening to that. It wanted like a positive, happy, vibeful kind of sound. But the thing was with me, I struggle to find anything to be happy about. So that kind of is reflective of the record's material. Like Seams is a very regretful, unhappy song. Station Identification is an unhappy song because it's about like succumbing to an addiction, and it's like why try to fight it when
Right.
like you could say you could, do I'm gonna beat this, I'm gonna stop doing it tomorrow, but you're just like right back at it. So it's not so much like trying to prolong the inevitable, it's just throwing yourself into the inevitable. My lasers are still on, but
They won't show.
You're fine.
I mean, like, you look at the words, feigning self-control, I feel uneasy when you're breathing, that sort of thing. In this moment where we're going, we don't need no destination. You're calling, face the motion, never needed one more reason in your eyes. Yeah, it's a very intimate but I like that one a lot. I'm glad you brought it up, but I would also so an old friend of mine had told me once that, oh, you never write any slow songs. It's all just a wall of noise. So this friend, eventually we parted ways, and I wrote. So I say before how I didn't want to write like cheesy, sort of like, I guess, soulless, like I didn't want to write something you would expect to hear on the radio, like top 40 or something.
Right.
But when we parted ways, I kind of wrote a song that's pretty blunt. This song is called I Miss You. It took forever to write this one. I started writing it in April. I didn't finish until January. Because both a mixture of procrastination and how I wanted the song to be like the best it could be. But I guess it also, like, not to toot my own horn over here, but it also like reflects to how, like, oh, you can have like like very weird songs like Dork or Little Bunny, and then you can have like slower and like more meaningful numbers. Like there's a song on there on the new record that's actually a re-recording of an older song I did and released called Snow Angel. And I just realized I had more ideas for it, and I feel like if I did it again, it'd be better. But where am I going with this?
I'm just. That's been an awesome response. Like, how does it feel to, like, what Charon said and what you were saying? How does it feel to opening yourself up, like your work? Like, how does
conflicted, because I think this would be the best time I'll get to bring up another one of my favorite bands, Joy Division. And the thing with Joy Division is that they're very, I guess, I don't want to call it self-contained, but they're very anti-public. Not private, but anti-public. Like, you won't see their faces on the records, or they gave like barely, like, little to no interviews. It's like, I don't know if I'd call it avoiding the spotlight. It was more so like begrudgingly walking into the spotlight. If you were to look at the artworks of my music, you'll notice how there is deliberately no living things per se. Definitely no humans or like mammals. But I like to keep it abstract as possible, because that's just a rule of mine. Like, you're not gonna see my face on a record, because that's a deliberate rule I have.
Actually, from all I'm so sorry. You can go ahead.
Right, because I don't want to make it all about me, which it seems like if I were to see a scenario like from the outside, it seems like it's like how can I apply this to myself? It's me. Because it's really just I have nothing else to apply it to. I keep my circle very small, deliberately small. So, but it's just I don't want I don't even though I write for me and what even though I write for me, I don't write about me. But that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because a lot of the songs on this new record are very much like my personal experiences, but I want to make it like universal, not for the sake of universality, just because I want to keep it open. I don't want to like deliberately like harpoon it to someone or something. I want to, I want to allow people to, develop their own sort of way of seeing just music in general. So that's kind of the mindset I would go with if I were deliberately writing for people. But I guess I just like writing open-ended music because I don't know, because I guess I'm just comfortable with it.
Like, we're gonna go into like the fun side of things.
Okay.
Yep.
What color do you think your music is? If
What
your music was a
color?
color, yeah.
Okay. Well, my favorite color is red. Like, I was a very easy child to impress. If you just showed me anything that had red in it, I was a happy boy. Mario, love it. Like, red, love it. I have no idea who Dale Earnhardt Jr. is. I just know he drives the red car. So,
Colgate, you brush your teeth with that.
oh, I'm terrible with brushing my teeth.
You heard that out there, ladies. If you're looking to kiss a deer,
Oh. Yeah, like that's never gonna happen.
So, like,
Nah, but color, that is a great question. It's funny too, because when I go in to edit my music's metadata, I just put the genre as other, because I really don't know what to call it, and I don't want to like sit down and figure out what it is. I'd rather just have other more experienced people do that for me. If I had to choose a color though, purple, like deep violet, has always fascinated me. Like,
it's a really nice
I don't know.
color.
It's a very open-ended color. Like, it lures you in, and you want to like stay there, but you gotta break out, but you don't want to. That sort of thing. But I wouldn't categorize my music as that color. Maybe like a dirty green, like a washed out green. Maybe.
I'm trying to
But
imagine that. Huh. Like, maybe not dirty, but like I can see the green. Like you said, washed out green, right? Like foresty or
like faded out green, like a green that's been out in the sun too long.
I don't know. I feel like
could
your
see that.
music, yeah.
That's a good question.
So next question: who would you love to do a collab with, alive or dead, and/or if you want to do alive and dead?
Who would I want to do a collab with?
Mm-hmm. Collaboration in the industry, we call it collaboration. Is collab is short for
Colon. Oscopy.
Oh no.
Who's that?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
Alright.
That's my answer. I can't imagine. I mean, I suppose I could, but it would have to be the more grounded, like digestible part of my discography that people would want to try and collab with me, because I can't see like somebody trying to tell me, hey, let's do like Little Bunny Part 2.
All right. In that case, let's say that you have the power. You have like this like laser that can force you to like collab with people alive or dead. Who do you think would like famous artists maybe like that would match with your music? You think?
So basically, a necromancy / brainwashing tool.
Exactly.
We've been playing.
You know,
Dungeons and Dragons.
people talk about like wanting to go back in time to watch like their favorite artist's concert. Well, I'm just sitting there thinking, you gotta, pay travel expenses, pay for the ticket stub, all that.
But if you bring cash with you from now, you'll be able to afford more things because of inflation.
Right. Oh, yes, that's genius. That's
There-
genius.
there. Idea for a new
Sketch,
would-
who knows?
If I were to want to collab with someone, actually, I got a better idea. I'm gonna have two different artists from like different like eras collab. Okay, well, initially I was gonna say like Captain Beefheart and Keith Moon, but they were like within like that same era. So maybe something like Beefheart and like New Order.
Oh shit! I'm not too familiar with them. So you're gonna have to show me that after this.
Yeah, if need be, you could like play a clip of his music to.
Do we have a clip? Do we have a clip? Oh, I forget. Nobody's working here. It's just us. Never mind.
Right. I will summon an album. This is Trout Mask Replica, his most noted work, and it sounds like crap. Because it sounds like nobody playing on it knows what they're doing, but the joke is they know exactly what they're doing.
Can we
So-
zoom in on that thing? Look at that. It's a fish
Anyway,
with a hat.
it is. But I don't know. I mean, maybe not so much New Order, just like any like electronic artist from like the 80s. No. Oh, okay. I got one. How about Beefheart and Aphex Twin?
Aphex Twin. I don't know that one.
You don't know Aphex Twin?
Mm-mm.
That's okay.
Do you know them?
that's-
Don't lie.
I'm not very familiar, no.
Okay. Well, they're this ambient artist, very popular,
Oh shit.
and they do like breakbeat and shit like that.
So something that is a little bit out there mixed with your music that is a little bit out there as well. I can see that.
Yeah, out there, just like wild. I suppose like that would be my wild pick. If I want like a pairing of people to like blow the roof off the place, I'd probably pick something the likes of okay, well, what's like a good noise maker? Probably like Kurt Cobain and Keith Moon.
Ooh. Let me imagine it. Let me imagine it. Okay. Okay.
And
I could see that.
it's just 20 minutes of them like tearing the stage to shreds,
Yeah.
and not in the playing sense, like destroying everything. It'd be like watching a monster truck demolition derby than
I feel
a
like-
rock concert.
You would also be down there like destroying shit in the stage with them alongside them.
It'd be a full-on ride. It'd be Woodstock '99 Part 2. In other words, I am a very picky eater.
What's your favorite food?
Pizza.
Oh, that's really good. That's really fucking good.
I think I eat too much
Kinda
junk food.
pizza.
Don't say
How do you
pineapples.
prefer to heat?
What? How do I prefer to what?
I was gonna say, what way do you prefer heating up your pizza?
Yeah, what's your preferred heating method?
In an oven, preferably.
Hmm.
Well, you don't want to nuke it. You don't want to fucking just drop a atomic bomb.
You want to know what tastes terrible? Microwaved hot dogs. I cannot stand microwave hot dogs. They taste
Oh,
terrible. They
dude.
smell terrible. They get liquids everywhere.
Okay, what's
Ugh.
worse? Eating a microwave hot dog or drinking hot dog water?
Drinking hot dog water.
Absolutely.
The taste lasts longer.
Right.
I would say right now my favorite kind of pizza is becoming Alfredo. It was originally cheese, and then it turned into 3-meat, but now it's Alfredo. Alfredo pizza is
That
really
sounds
good.
really good, actually. Fuck, I'm hungry.
I'm
And-
basic when it comes to pizzas.
What was your favorite one?
Just pepperoni. I'm
Pepperoni
basic,
all the way.
bitch.
Another turkey sandwich. The most basic sandwich of all.
I have turkey and cheese sandwiches like every day because it's simple and easy. You just put some
Basic.
turkey, cheese, put it in the microwave, it all melts, and it's pretty good.
Some people don't even do that.
So, I have a few questions to ask you. It's what's the biggest challenge in your music journey so far?
Writing anything anymore. Even during the creation of this new record, it seems like I've been going through the biggest writer's block ever. But I think I know why, and it's because I'm trying too hard. That, and I think I know too much. Because it's nice to know like the general basics of like music theory, but I think I've learned too much where that I'm trying to apply that into everything. Cause like I'll play a chord and I immediately think what would be the next chord that would fit instead of what's the next interesting sounding chord, right?
Yeah.
There's a quote from Peter Saville. He did a lot of art for Joy Division and that circle of people within the Manchester, UK scene. I think it was Peter Saville. I could be wrong, but he said, basically, people stop writing interesting songs when they start learning too much. That's the gist of it. I think that's kind of what's been happening with me. That's why I wrote that Tevrapret song, because I wanted something simple and very punk-esque.
I was actually about to say it was very like what you said is very punkish because punk is like a fuck you to like the people that were trying to like overdo
Right.
music.
It's like go back to the
yeah.
basics.
And I suppose I don't want to say like, oh, I live a straight edge lifestyle, because I mean I don't drink, I don't smoke, none of that. But I think if I were to say that definitively, people would get an idea in their head, and then
That is true.
solidify that. But I definitely want this whenever the next record is to have a more punkish, very heavy, fast-paced, energetic vibe to it. I very much would like to go in that route. Even though I like like the synthy poppy stuff like Crop Dust or Seams. The energetic sort of thing is what I want to do next, because I've been trying to write songs that would sound good in a live setting, right? So I would like to solidify that down, because I have a record, this record that I enjoy, as a music collective piece. But so now I want like a live record ready piece that I'm satisfied with, and then maybe like a live record, like good quality.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I haven't done a live performance in a long while. There's this open mic place I go to sometimes, and it's funny too because I live in Kansas City, so there's a lot of acoustic guitar and like slow, very lovey-dovey sort of music. And there's a few outliers, like some nights there'll be like a guy with like piano or something, but generally it's like slow acoustic wishy-washy ballads. And then I go in and I do like a hard electric set. The last time I was there, after, everyone did the whole wishy-washy acoustic song, I basically went up there and I slammed my guitar down. I'm not gonna say, like, oh, these kids and their newfangled phones, because, like, that's basically what everyone does at this point. Just accept it and move on. Every concert, phones. Every, social gathering, phones. That's just how it is. That's just the natural evolution. Everybody, we have phone. Oh,
You're getting really excited for this conversation.
we have
Captain, my
phones,
captain.
We had phones. They had TVs. They had they had radios. They had newspapers. It's just progressive.
Had word of mouth before that.
Yeah. No. It was actually people on horseback delivering scrolls.
Get your daily scroll. Your daily scroll.
Right. But I would say, like, if you're gonna film something, go all the way. Don't just film like a small snippet and then upload it to an audience of no one. Like, do the whole thing, because sure, even if there's guaranteed cameras, that's probably gonna go into like some other collection that'll never see the light of day.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
also, have some meaning, have some like soul to that footage. I don't mean like go out of your way to make it happen, but if it's a natural. I went to pro wrestling is one of my favorite sports. I've loved it since I was a kid, and 12 months ago, last year, January 2024, they were doing a live taping of Monday Night Raw, and me and my older brother were attending, and I wasn't even looking into it I wasn't like going into the event thinking, oh, I'm gonna film everything. It just happened. So, but there's this glorious moment. So there's a wrestler named Drew McIntyre. He's this like big Scottish brute.
Yeah.
And he was.
Yeah.
Oh, Seamus?
No.
Drew McIntyre.
Oh, God.
So
He's got
the
a
whole
sword.
Miracle Whip cottage cheese thing. I was very pale as a child, so when I watched wrestling and when Sheamus got on the screen, everyone looked at me because I also happen to have red hair. So it's like, oh, we have Sheamus at the house. Sheamus is cool. Sheamus is cool.
That's why representation is so important.
Fuck you. No, okay, yeah. So Drew McIntyre, he shows up. My oldest brother's like, not my oldest, my older. It's like, oh, it's Drew McIntyre, and he's here, and he's talking. And this was in the middle of the Drew McIntyre CM Punk beef.
Right.
You sound like you know what I'm talking about, but I have a feeling you don't.
I watch wrestling every once in a while. Drew McIntyre, that's the dude with the sword, right?
Right, yeah.
Yep.
But,
I know
dude, this
exactly
was during. Did you see the Bad Blood Hell in a Cell match they had?
I think I did. I think
It's very
Is it
bloody,
on the
very
golf watch
brutal. It's one of the best. I think it's the best match of the year of 2024. That was amazing. But anyway, so Drew comes out, and we're like, "Hey, it's Drew," and then he's berating CM Punk like, "You're a loser. You're a loser." I'm trying to remember his accent. It's Scottish. Don't look up my kilt, you perv. That's a line he uses when Drew's sitting down because he wears a kilt. and the camera's trying to like get him. He's like, "Don't look up my kilt, you perv." And he's berating CM Punk. He's like, "You suck. You're terrible. You're a downright scoundrel. I hate everything you stand for." And then CM Punk's music hits, and I was up in the rafters, and I jump out of my seat because they're like, "Hey, CM Punk." I love CM Punk. He's great. And my brother had to hold me back because he thought my legs are gonna go over the rafters. So I had a fun time with that one. That was great.
Dude,
I ended up attending a All Elite Wrestling taping in December because I wanted to close. I started the year off with a wrestling event live, and I wanted to end the year because they happened to be in town. That one was disappointing and kind of depressing because most of the matches were and the crowd was very macho, very masculine. Like you had people at the side going like, "Grab his dick and twist it." And bringing up wrestlers' wives when there's no reason to. And there were these three guys. So we had good seats. They were like $25 seats. They were good seats. Like we had when we had a good view of the ring. But there were these three guys. We were in row 3. They were in row 1. There were 3 guys who were standing up for like half of the show, and we couldn't see shit. And so to cap it all off, so All Elite Wrestling at that taping, they did a 2-hour segment on TV to air live, a 20-minute segment for Ring of Honor because they're partnering with them, and then a 1-hour taping of a show they're going to air later in the week. That 20-minute segment for the different promotion, Ring of Honor, was better than the 2 hours they had put on previously.
Oof. God
Yeah.
damn.
And we didn't stick around for the extra hour. We just left because we were like, "Wow, that sucked." But yeah, professional wrestling is awesome. It's great. I'm excited for Raw to be on Netflix on the 6th.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
They would.
Yeah, there's gonna be John Cena's retirement tour. John Cena was like my wrestler as a child. Because if there's one thing John Cena was great too, it's selling himself to children. Not like that. Oh my god.
Mine was Kane.
No. All right, I could kind of see it. Kane was cool. What was yours? If you have one.
I'm a big Undertaker fan.
Nice. Or whatever the sound was.
I watched WrestleManias 28, 29, and 30 all on pay-per-view back to back, and I'm proud of that.
You gotta do what you gotta do. And
Right.
I think we have
So I watched Undertaker's streak break live as it happened.
Who did
Very
he lose to?
shocking. Brock Lesnar.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So yeah, pro wrestling, very cool, very excited. Raw on Netflix. CM Punk and Seth Rollins are looking to have a ball buster of a match. And at the beginning of John Cena's retirement tour. So
Nice.
yeah, very exciting stuff. Very, very cool stuff.
And I think we have one more last question for you, my friend.
Oh, okay.
Charon, take it away.
How do you see VR platforms like Resonite changing the way music is created or shared in the future?
Well, the place we're filming at, the Sound Egg, a make-esque vinyl record store, is
It's not
certainly
real?
a nice.
It's all a simulation.
Oh man.
No, but I think places like this is genius and very great because, I mean, sure, vinyl record stores have fallen out of fashion. There are definitely like places you could go if they sell records, but this is very much like a very accessible, right? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
especially considering I'm just pulling this one at random, the Marty Robbins record. Like you could like see the back and look at it and it's kind of like having a record, you know, with you, and then of course you can like play it. If I could, I can't get it out, but no, I mean at least for like old records, like new stuff. I mean, sure, it's like back there and here, but within VR. So, as you brought up earlier, I did have a party for the Nuge release party where I had a visualizer and lights and stuff. So it was very immersive. And I would say a great way to, you know, introduce, because sure, you know, you were there and some other of my personal contacts, but to have those people, you know, bring in their, you know, circle and for them to enjoy it, and also just any regular bystander to happen upon it, I think is great. Because you know how like in Fortnite they're having like those music events and stuff. That's cool too. In a VR sense, it would definitely liven the atmosphere. But I feel like the first pioneers of virtual reality, like concerts and stuff, would probably be like the J-pop and anime crowd, because it's all very, very energetic, a lot of lights, lots of movement. So whenever that revolution comes in, I feel like that crowd would be at the forefront, because that makes sense in my head.
If they're not already.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're already doing holograms. They had this Hatsune Miku hologram concert thing.
Yeah, it's
So
like always
they're-
full too.
Yeah, like there's an
Yeah.
audience for that. There's people willing to, you know, wanting to experience that. So you already have that, which probably wasn't hard to get, right? But you have the innovation of like the hologram, and like avatars are definitely like a great way to
Dude, you just blew my fucking mind.
you know, forward through that, you know, that sort of thing where it's like a performance, right? And there's already like, you know, full body tracking, and this community, like the furry community, like there's the joke of there's that joke about how there's someone like the smartest minds on the internet, but they only ever use their talents to make their avatars more lively.
Dude,
It's insane.
It's funny
It's funny.
and insane. And
it's crazy how good those avatars are.
right? Like, say what you want about them, and I know a lot of people have a lot to say about them, but you can't deny the talent. Like, nobody sits on their ass and says, and that just happens. No, you got to work for that, right?
Absolutely.
You got to surround yourself with like-minded people for that, right?
Dude,
So to answer the question of like VR like music experience, I would definitely say like it seems like we're just waiting for like the big boom, like somebody to, you know, take all of this, you know, and then just launch it. And then the pieces are there. Until that happens, though, it's just, if that's what you're looking for, that's really all you're waiting for. Unless if, you know, you have the time and patience to do that, then by all means.
dude, I'm still
So,
you blew my mind with that hologram being VR thing. I was just like, what is real? Like, that is so true. Holographic concerts are technically VR, but from the other point
and
of
not
view.
even in like the anime sense. There was like a Tupac hologram concert like
Yeah,
a decade ago.
that's VR.
So, but I mean, in that aspect, it's like it's in the same territory as like people taking dead actors' voices and making artificial intelligence voices out of that. Which in that aspect, can you not?
We don't like that. We don't
But
like
if
that
it's
here.
like a fictitious or a real consenting person that's on board with that, they're not just doing it because it's an extra pay in their pocket, you know. Like if it's a real consenting and willing person or a fictitious person, then you know, go right ahead, do whatever it is you gotta do. But if they're dead, leave them dead.
And
That-
thank you so
Don't be
that's my-
necromancers.
No,
Right.
no necromancy.
I think in Full Metal Alchemist is the #1 rule. You don't do it. You don't bring back people from the dead.
Right. You
and-
don't.
Yeah. You
No,
don't.
never mind.
You
You
don't.
don't. You don't.
You don't. And
You
so
don't.
that's been once again. At the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You don't.
You don't.
You don't.
Oh my fucking god.
That's
That's been-
another thing you gotta circumvent connection issues and stability.
So with that being said,
I wanna imagine. I don't mean to interrupt, but like I wanna imagine the computer that would be running, or like the server hardware that would be running like the concert, whenever that is.
Jesus,
That
this
thing's
is-
gotta be like a NASA spaceship,
and it's gonna be fucking
Quantum
NASA,
computer
like
level.
right?
NASA rocket amount of hot in
Right.
that room. But Stickee, thank you so much. Like, where can we hear your music at? What websites?
You
or...
asked this
You
question.
did ask
Yeah,
this.
but we deleted it.
like because like it was part like it's because this is like a better ending. I feel like this like transitioned better into that ending.
Yeah,
And
fair.
Also, Stickee didn't fucking do the magic black card thing.
The magic black card thing.
Yeah, the thing that you were, the thing that you're gonna do tomorrow, the concert.
Oh, right.
Fuck. Okay. And all right, you want to do it again? And the whole interview. All right, you ready? No, just kidding. All right,
This is gonna be the last part.
and
All right.
y'all, that's been our time. Thank you so much, Stickee. Where can we find your music at?
You could find it online on Bandcamp and most of the popular streaming services like Spotify, Apple Music, that sort of thing, YouTube. Not TikTok. Deliberately not TikTok. If my music ever gets popular on TikTok, and if I'm known as a person who got big on TikTok, I'm quitting music forever.
What if they do a fast version of one of your songs?
Oh no, stop. Don't give them ideas.
Just
Slowed
times two.
plus reverb.
And
And
I
then-
think,
And then they'll jack up the streams and shit.
oh my
Oh,
god.
and don't forget they have to put Subway Surfer right next to it too.
Right.
Oh
To
my
keep the attention
God,
span going.
yeah.
2-year-old. Don't you guys know we're like in like a new generation? They're calling it Generation Beta.
I did read that. That is fucked up.
Yeah,
Betas.
a generation of betas. Damn.
Damn.
My gen.
Speaking
People try to put us down, talking about my generation.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah, the Who's great.
Yeah, fuck. Aren't you supposed to have like a concert soon?
Yeah, tomorrow actually. It's with.
Ooh.
Well, you can ooh all you want, but I get the strong feeling that by the time whenever this interview hits the internets, this will all be gone and done. It's
It will
with
be-
Alan Moon. They're a drum and bass artist, and I'll be opening for them. I don't know where it's gonna take place. I'll have to speak with them about that. And then I figure
mysterious.
like you could have like a. No, well, I mean, I could, but like I said, it'll probably be over by the time whenever this is uploaded.
I might upload it tomorrow. So it might be today,
But-
and if it's not the 3rd, then it was yesterday, and if it was not the 4th, it was a couple days ago.
Yeah, so that's the immediate future.
Future.
Future. That's our time, everybody. Bye. Future.
Bye-bye.
Future.